Hi, my name's Yaz, and I am the Service Delivery Manager for the Wickes Apprenticeship Team.
Amazing. Well, welcome to Life of a Female Tradie podcast, Yaz. It's wonderful to have you on the show. I'd like to just start by asking you to explain to the listeners who may not know who Wickes are as a company, if you could just explain to them who you are.
So, Wickes is a nationwide retail business, specifically within trade environments. But we do also have our own very lucrative kitchen and bathroom installation program that we run. And obviously, the apprenticeships feed into that as well.
And obviously, it's UK based, yes?
Yes, we are UK based. The apprenticeship program itself, though, is only England based. But obviously, Wickes
Ah,
is UK based.
okie dokie. All right then. And Yaz, what is your background?
So my background's quite squiggly. I actually went to university and I did an interior design degree in architecture.
Wow.
And then I actually retrained and went into nursing, which is really different. But maternity leave threw some spanners in the works and I actually went back into designing. So I actually started out as a DC, so it's a design consultant with Wickes 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
6 years ago, God. So yeah, been with us for a while. And then I spent the next 4.5 years doing that before moving into other departments and then joining the apprenticeship team in November 2024.
Wow. Very eclectic mix there from you. Can you just describe your role a bit more in detail within the Wickes Apprenticeship Team?
So, as the service delivery manager, I support our team leaders. So, at the moment, we are a team of two, which will be expanding to a team of three in the next few months. The team leaders are obviously those that are accountable and take care of the day to day of our apprentices. But I support with recruitment, I support with the sort of recruitment of new apprentices as well as new installers for the programme. So, sort of building those connections with installers out there and their field managers to support making sure we're getting the right people into the program to help with the growth of our apprentices as well. We do a lot of connection building. It's really difficult when you suddenly get asked what your role is and you have to think. But yeah, we do a lot.
It
So I
sounds
do a
like
lot.
it. Yeah.
Obviously, the recruitment is a big part of our process every year, but then also sort of installer retention. So making sure that we are keeping the right installers for the program that we know will benefit the apprentices going forward. We run some sessions towards the end of the 18-month program that will help with like self-employment and getting set up and things like that as well.
Oh,
So I'll
wow.
play a part in that and just making sure that we're getting the right documents together to allow people to go self-employed and to have that future for themselves as well.
Amazing. And when you say installers, is that the businesses that the apprenticeships go and work alongside?
Yeah, so Wix as a business obviously have their approved installers. Now they go through a large vetting process before they are brought on board as a Wix installer. And obviously as part of our apprenticeship program, we do like another mini vet as such to make sure that they are showing the right sort of signs and behaviours for taking on an apprentice and are not just looking for a spare pair of hands. We do get that quite often, but obviously an apprenticeship is there to learn and to grow and to build those skills. So making sure that we have those right installers that will put the apprentice in those situations to allow them to have that opportunity as well is so important. And I do a
Yeah.
lot of those conversations.
Okay. Wow. And how long has Wickes been running the apprenticeship scheme?
So we launched the program in 2019, so
Okay.
yeah, 6 and a bit, 7 years ago nearly. And we have had quite a few groups go through that process since. So we are actually at the moment recruiting for our 22nd and 23rd kitchen cohort,
Wow.
and our sixth bathroom cohort has just started in December.
Amazing. I mean, I had no idea that Wickes ran an apprenticeship program until I came across one of your apprentices on Instagram.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, it just made sense straight away. So, yeah, it's such a great program that you offer. And what apprenticeships do you offer? Is it kitchens and then bathrooms?
Yeah, so we offer a separate kitchen one or a bathroom one. At the moment, we don't have a combined K and B one. So people that are interested will obviously need to sort of look at whether they're more interested in the carpentry side, in which case the kitchen apprenticeship would be more suited, or if they're more sort of interested in the tiling and the plumbing aspects, in which case the bathroom one would be much better suited for them then. But yeah, we offer the two at the moment.
Okay. And with the kitchen one, does that also entail the slight bits of electrics and plumbing within it, or is it the carpentry aspect mainly?
So the college course that they do throughout the apprenticeship is actually a level two fitted furniture. So it's generic across both kitchens and bathrooms. However, when they're on site is where they actually learn the more specific skills. So obviously with a kitchen apprenticeship, you will learn your more sort of carpentry joinery skills from your installer on your Monday to Friday sort of day to day. We do say that they're not allowed to be involved with any gas or electric work, just because obviously they need to be done by competent people. Not saying our installers aren't, but obviously a lot of those bring in their own subcontractors to complete those aspects of the job. Now they are welcome to observe and sort of ask questions to find out how it works, sort of understanding the wiring of a socket or how to put in an oven and things like that, but we
Okay.
wouldn't expect them and we wouldn't allow them to be involved with the actual installation of any of that electric work as such. Because yeah, obviously it all needs to be signed off and done properly to make
Indeed.
sure it's compliant.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good part to understand, because obviously those of us that are in the trades that have worked on big renovations, certain trades overlap into certain parts, don't they, of a property. Understanding from an apprenticeship side of things what you will be able to touch and what you won't be able to touch.
Yeah, I mean, they generally will be allowed to be involved in all aspects on site. So, if the installer does a bit of plastering and they're happy for them to be involved with that, they'll get an insight into what plastering's like. If they're doing all the plumbing or the tilers coming in, then they can spend time with those guys as well. So they will learn how to tile, they'll learn how to do your flooring, they will learn your basic sort of plumbing within kitchen work as well. Obviously,
Oh,
boilers
wow.
is linked to gas and things like that, so we tend to stay clear. But you
Yeah.
will have the carpentry aspect of sort of building a unit around a boiler that will sometimes use a bit of head scratching that the apprentices will be involved with and sort of being allowed to get stuck in on as well.
Awesome. Yeah, really cool. And what sort of support do the students get during their apprenticeship?
So we have sort of, I suppose, two levels of support. You have your first one, which is always your team leader. So they are your initial sort of contact point for an apprentice to reach out to, whether that is troubles at home that just need a sort of a listening ear to or a bit of support with. We obviously within the business we can support with sort of salary finance and sacrifice and things like that as well. So if there's money
Okay.
issues or problems that crop up, we have a lot of support network out there as well. We do an awful lot around well-being and mental health. So we have got mental health first aiders within the team, and we also have a lot as a business that we can offer with like a company that we outsource a lot of that work to. So again, when things crop up in life, because that is what life is nowadays, you get a lot of
Indeed.
things that can take you. So we give an awful lot of support in that sense. But obviously, with the college aspect, you have the training officers at our college providers as well. So if they need any help with submitting their coursework, we can look at different ways. So if somebody is maybe not too techy and doesn't really get computers, we can do things like oral submissions. So you can send a voice note and submit your work that way instead. If you sort of struggle with the actual typing aspect because you might be dyslexic, we can look at sort of having somebody there to support with the typing aspect. So you sort of verbally give those answers and talk them through, and then somebody's just typing them up for you. AI does a lot of the sort of recordings and can pre type for you nowadays as well. So there's an awful lot that we can do to help an apprentice get
Yeah.
through that day to day and get through the apprenticeship as well. The other aspect obviously is our supplier training. So your installers are obviously a wealth of knowledge, but sometimes you get the odd one that is a bit stuck in their ways because they've done it the same way for the last 30 odd years. However, our suppliers are obviously always changing things in terms of how best to fit X, Y, and Z, and looking at sort of new regulations that come in and things like that as well. So the apprentices are sent to supplier training in both kitchens and in bathrooms. And that's
Okay.
where they can obviously get first hand on experience and understanding around certain products from the suppliers directly, which is obviously really invaluable to them as well.
Absolutely. I love that you mentioned the support around mental health, well-being, and also making adjustments for different learners, because I'm sure at least everybody knows somebody that learns in a different way to them. So being able to adjust things to suit the different type of student that you might get, that's fantastic. And you also mentioned having someone there to speak to about anything that's not associated with the apprenticeship that they're going through is also incredible, because again, anybody of any age always needs a bit of support or a listening ear sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say our second title is probably counsellor sometimes. We do an awful lot, but actually at the same time, it's really lovely that the apprentices have that trust in us to be able to open up in that way as well. And our employee assistance program is amazing in terms of what they offer for mental health. So if you are really struggling, like what the business actually have put together is so worth accessing. And we do find a lot of our apprentices from time to time do access and use it as well, which is really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is really good. Okay. What is Wickes's main drive for 2026?
So we always obviously aiming to get slightly bigger and better, as probably any business does every year. Our main aim at the moment is we have expanded our team to be able to support our graduates in a much better position as well, which will allow us to support our apprentices throughout their program much better as well. So as I alluded earlier, we are moving up to 3 team leaders. And so I have currently got one, she's on maternity leave, but will be back in the middle of the year. So that will then take us up to those 3 team leaders as well, and to be able to give them enough time to spend with those apprentices and to support, in particular, if you've got somebody that is a little bit struggling one way or another. And then obviously our field managers support the graduates out there. So there are apprentices who've been through the program, have completed it, and are now set up as self-employed and running their own businesses, but obviously doing Wix jobs for us. So
Wow,
they get an awful lot of guidance and support from the department as well.
amazing. And are you pushing for a new cohort of students to come through the ranks at the moment?
We are. So, as I mentioned, we are in the middle of recruitment, which is always a very busy time. But we will have 2 new cohorts starting at the end of March with us. And so, again, those locations are sort of dotted fairly much up and down England at the moment. And we're just sort of looking at finalising which of those candidates we want to bring to our assessment centres as well, which is like a
Okay,
really fun step as opposed to like a face to face interview. It's like a day where we spend together, do some activities, team groups, that sort of thing to get to know them as a
cool.
person.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously experience isn't everything. So CVs, although they submit them, they don't always give who a person is, whereas those
Yeah, yeah,
conversations really do.
absolutely. And have you got a good mix of female and male, girls and boys this time?
We have. I thought obviously we trialed a new sort of marketing strategy to see if we could appeal to a few more females in the trade as well. We have got a few
Awesome.
of our own female graduates who have been through the program and are out there fitting for us in customers' homes, which is amazing. And
Wow.
then obviously we've got a few more this year that are due to graduate as well. I'm sure the person you follow on Instagram is one of those.
I think she
Um,
is, yep.
she is, but yeah, so it's really exciting to know that people like that are going to be out there in customers' homes in a good few months doing their own jobs as a byproduct of sort of having been through our apprenticeship as well.
Absolutely. It just came to my head, like, I am kind of still learning the ins and outs of what an actual apprenticeship is. And I just realised I don't know typically how long an apprenticeship takes. How long is somebody with you until they are technically let loose to do their own self employed life?
So it's officially it's an 18-month apprenticeship. Now 80% of that time is on site, 20% of that time will be college based. So the majority of what you learn on a day-to-day will be from your installer and from being hands-on. So obviously apprenticeships are generally aimed at people that are a little bit more practical, that prefer sort of that aspect of learning through doing rather than
Yep.
learning through death by PowerPoint or whatnot. Um, but that's where we really appeal in that sense. We do have the college aspect, but that is just part and parcel of an apprenticeship. You do have to go through it. But they're done in 6 or 7 blocks, depending on kitchens or bathrooms, and they're only a week at a time. So throughout 18 months, you're not spending more than 6 or 7 weeks at college. So actually, the majority of your learning is on site.
Okay. And is the student assessed through coursework and a catalogue of their work that they've carried out on site, or is there a test at any point?
So to be able to graduate from the program as such, obviously is to complete the 18 months and get through it. And then as part of it, you also have to sit what we call an endpoint assessment or an EPA. Now that is set out through the educational governing body to complete as part of the apprenticeship. Now that is broken down into 3 parts. So you have a professional discussion, which is all around the assessor asking you questions and understanding if you know like the processes, if you understand why you do things in X, Y, and Z order as opposed to ABC. They also do a practical assessment. So you are tasked with building a small kitchen setup within a set amount of
Oh.
time. So they can assess sort of the skills side of it as well. And then the third part is a multiple choice questions, which again is based on the coursework you've completed to show whether you've got that understanding of actually the different policies, the different legislations that are out there. So all your laws and things like that, that they are been taken in and you've paid attention throughout the 18 months and you know what you're looking forward to as well.
Okay. Wow. Very interesting. And do you see more women or girls choosing the kitchen or the bathroom side of the apprenticeships that you offer?
We do tend to find it is more kitchen directed as opposed to
Okay.
bathrooms. Not really sure why. We just tend to find there are more women interested in sort of the carpentry aspect, whether they're people that sort of fell into it through doing a bit of DIY in their own homes or just through partners or family members that are in the trade as well, then naturally
Yeah.
sort of falling into those brackets. But yeah, we do tend to find the interest is more so on kitchens than bathrooms.
Gotcha. I mean, when I ask my guests if they could be a different trade, what would they choose? 99% of people choose carpentry. So
Yeah.
it is a popular trade for sure.
I
Definitely.
think it's very all-rounded as well because you can apply carpentry to a lot of different aspects as well. You can go
Oh
down the
yeah.
woodworking route, you can go down your sort of internal doors, external doors, architraves, that side of things, or you can obviously go a bit more finite with kitchen fitting or bespoke joinery indoors. You get a lot of media units nowadays that everyone wants making or alcoves building and whatnot. So it definitely appeals to a lot of people.
Definitely. Just to touch back on you mentioning the suppliers that you work with, how easy is it from their point of view to work with Wix and your apprenticeship scheme?
So that's generally sort of dealt with James and Connie, who sort of lead the apprenticeship program. They build up
Oh,
those
okay.
relationships with our suppliers. They obviously reach out to ask if it is something they are happy to sort of teach our apprentices because we see the value in learning sort of from first-hand experience what the right way to do it is. We are really big as a business in wanting to make sure that people are doing things the correct way as
Yeah,
opposed to doing it through something that maybe was correct 30 years ago but has now been updated through legislations and regulations that have obviously changed with the times as well. And that's where those supplier meetings are so important because they will tell you exactly how their product is best fitted, whether that's a worktop, whether that's a shower tray, whether that's a screen. It will tell you exactly how best to fit that item in a customer's home as well.
okie dokie. And apart from the drive for the next group of students coming into the scheme, has the Wix apprenticeship scheme got any other big announcements that they can share with us for this year?
Well, we run 3 recruitment drives every year, so obviously we've got the first 2 groups going live at the end of March, but we have 2 further ones that will be opening for a June and a September start. So anyone that's interested
Oh,
just needs to raise that inquiry. The main thing is that we just need people to be over 18, and that's just
gotcha.
from the education side of things to be able to get the funding.
Okay.
And we just need people to sort of have access to a vehicle to be able to travel, because obviously not everybody will be local to our college in Nottingham to be able to get about as well.
There you go. Okay, so you've got to be a driver and you've got to be over 18.
Yes.
Fabulous. Alrighty. Okay. And where can people find the links or website, etc., to inquire about these things?
So whenever we've got a recruitment drive, obviously all of our applications will be open through the Wickes website under the careers section. Otherwise, if you reach out to anyone within the team or anyone within a store, they will normally always redirect you to us as a team as well. So if you pop into a
Okay.
local Wickes store, most of them will pick up with someone in the department within installations and can pop you to the right person. Otherwise, I am happy to share my email as well that people can just pop an email over and then I can pick up with you, get you onto our interested in our waiting list that way as well, and we'll go that way.
Perfect. And you can even mention to me, I'll happily pass things on.
Perfect.
So we're now towards the end of our little chat. And to keep in with the theme of my episodes, I like to do a bit of a quick fire question round with you, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, bit random. So here we go. Tea or coffee?
I'm a neither person. I don't do hot drinks.
Okay, fair play.
Yeah,
That's
don't
fine.
do hot drinks. If squash is an
No
option,
worries.
I'd be well in there.
Oh, let's have that then. Any particular flavour?
Mm, Normally just summer berries.
Summer berries. There we go. Bathrooms or kitchens?
That's a difficult one.
It's a bit naughty, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I like them both for different reasons, I'd say.
Good answer. Okay. Dogs or cats?
God, I have one of each, so again, that's really difficult.
I'm not doing very well here, am I?
I'll probably say more of a cat person than a dog person.
Okay, fair enough. And driver or passenger?
Definitely passenger princess.
And built-in appliances or freestanding?
I'd say built in, apart from a fridge,
Mm,
because I think fridges, you
yeah.
lose a lot of your depth when you go built in.
Okay, good to know. And last one, on-site learning or online learning?
I'm definitely an on-site person, hands-on, getting stuck in and having a go. Yeah,
Love that. Cool. Okay, so the final 3 questions that I like to ask everybody. If you could be a tradie on the tools, what trade would you choose and why?
that is a hard one. I'd probably would say I'd go into a carpentry route somewhere along the
Yep.
way, whether that's kitchen fitting or just general carpentry. But then I also really enjoy tiling.
Oh, good shout. Awesome. I like that. I don't think anyone said tiling.
Oh no, I love like especially when you get like different eccentric tiles and you can put different patterns together. That is my jam. I love it.
Love that. And what trade or who do you think I should have on the show next?
I feel like something that's not a common known trade, something in that direction could be quite interesting, something really random.
Yeah. Maybe like a mechanic or something like that.
Yeah, I spoke to an applicant earlier and they'd worked on cranes, which I thought was really interesting, really different.
Yes.
Because
Love
that's
that.
that's got to be a whole different world being God knows how many feet up in the air.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My guest from last week actually mentioned a young girl that works on wind turbines,
That is cool.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Scary, but cool.
They never look as big as they are when you suddenly stood in front of one either. So I can imagine being up there would be a whole nother level.
Absolutely. On a little rope.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, me neither.
I'm not a heights person.
No, absolutely not. 3 steps on a ladder. Yeah, I'm good. Awesome. Okay, so we're now at the end, and I will make sure that in the show notes that the Wickes Apprenticeship website is there, social media is there, and also a link just to connect with yourself to go forward with any interest.
Amazing. So I'll share we've got like an apprenticeship inbox that we send all inquiries to as well. So I will share that with you. And if any listeners have got any interest, they can ping us an email and we'll get in touch.
Amazing. Well, thank you ever so much. It's been really interesting learning more about what you offer at Wix, and I hope many of the listeners get in touch.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome. Speak soon.
Speak to you soon. Bye bye.
Before you shoot off, if you're loving this podcast, I would really appreciate it if you drop me a like or a review or even just a follow. And also, don't forget to share your favourite episodes with a friend. You never know what little nugget of gold they might need to hear. Thanks again. See you next time.